Welcome to this video on Deep Dive into DPDP Act 2023. In this third part, we focus on the essential rights of data principles as per the Act and the path toward effective implementation. This video covers three critical areas: understanding the rights of individuals, defining what organizations must do in response, and explaining why proper rights handling is central to privacy compliance. We explain how the DPDP Act empowers individuals through specific rights over their personal data. It also shows that these rights create practical duties for organizations to build accessible, reliable, and verifiable response processes. By the end of this video, you will be able to identify key data principle rights, explain their scope, distinguish rights from duties, design a rights handling workflow, and recognize common implementation failures. You should be able to map a rights request from intake to response. The focus is not just on legal awareness, but also on how teams in privacy, support, HR, compliance, and technology must work together to fulfill these rights. The DPDP Act grants individuals several fundamental rights, including notice and consent-linked transparency, the right to access personal data, rights to correction and erasure, grievance redressal, and the right to nominate. This slide gives you the full rights picture. It helps you see rights as part of a connected user control model, rather than isolated legal clauses. The right to access empowers individuals to learn what personal data is being held, how it is used, who it is shared with, and the legal basis for processing. Organizations must ensure that request channels are clear and accessible. The access right promotes transparency and accountability. Organizations should be able to retrieve relevant data, explain how it is being used, and identify sharing relationships without making the user navigate multiple disconnected systems. Individuals have the right to ensure their personal data remains accurate, complete, and up to date. They may request corrections, completion of missing information, or updates to outdated data, provided the organization verifies the requester's identity first. Correction is especially important where personal data influences decisions, service delivery, eligibility, billing, identity verification, or employee records. A rights process should therefore include request validation, evidence review, system updates, and downstream consistency checks. When specific conditions are met, individuals can request the erasure of their personal data. While not an absolute right, organizations must have the operational capability to delete data securely from all systems, backups, and third-party services. Erasure is not simply deleting a single field from one screen. Teams must consider whether the data also exists in processors, archives, backups, exports, or other connected systems, and whether there is any legal obligation to retain the data despite the request. A robust complaint mechanism is a legal requirement. Organizations must provide an easy-to-use system for individuals to raise grievances, ensuring acknowledgments and resolutions are handled within prescribed timelines, utilizing internal remedies before escalation. This right means the organization must create visible, accessible channels for complaints and rights-related concerns. A broken or hidden grievance mechanism increases escalation risk and weakens trust even before legal penalties become relevant. Data principles have the right to nominate another person to exercise their rights in the event of their incapacity or death. Organizations must have processes in place to verify the identity and authority of such nominees before taking action. This right is operationally important for digital platforms, financial services, healthcare-related systems, and long-term customer relationships. Teams should think about how to record nominations, verify them, and process requests when the original data principal is no longer able to act. With rights come responsibilities. Data principals must act fairly and honestly. This includes refraining from impersonation, not suppressing material information, avoiding frivolous or malicious complaints, and providing authentic information when requesting data corrections. This is a distinctive feature of the DPDP Act. It reminds learners that privacy rights are not a tool for abuse, impersonation, or disruption, and that organizations should include verification and abuse prevention checks in their rights handling workflows. Effective rights handling begins with a clear intake process. Whether through a portal, email, or help desk, requests must be logged, acknowledged, and categorized by type to ensure identity verification and appropriate routing. A mature rights process begins with clear intake design. Requests should not depend on informal inboxes or ad hoc manual handling, because that creates delay, inconsistency, and audit weakness. Before acting on a request, validate the requester's identity and, if applicable, the nominee's authority. Once validated, route the request to the relevant business or system owners and document the entire process to maintain an audit trail. This is critical because rights fulfillment involves both privacy protection and fraud prevention. Acting on a correction or deletion request without validating the requester could itself create a data protection incident. Fulfilling a request in systems involves updating all relevant source and dependent data. It also requires reviewing whether the data was shared with third parties, assessing retention exceptions, and maintaining comprehensive action logs. This is where legal rights become operational work. It is not enough to mark a request closed unless the data has actually been corrected or erased across relevant systems and the action is documented properly. When managing grievances, start with the internal mechanism provided by the organization. If the response is unsatisfactory, individuals may escalate the issue internally before eventually approaching the Data Protection Board of India as a final step. You should understand that grievance handling is both a service and compliance issue. A quick, fair, and documented internal response can often prevent unnecessary escalation while also demonstrating accountability. Organizations must avoid common pitfalls, such as unclear request channels, delayed responses, inadequate identity verification, failing to address downstream systems, or ignoring nomination handling. These gaps undermine compliance and user trust. These failures usually come from process fragmentation rather than bad intent. Rights handling often breaks when privacy, IT, support, and records teams are not aligned around a standard workflow. Let's look at a practical scenario. A customer asks to access their personal data, correct an outdated address, and delete a marketing profile. This requires clear, structured steps for access, verification, system updates, and legal compliance. You can pause the video here and work on this scenario for hands-on experience. This exercise helps you see that a single request can involve multiple rights at once. It also shows why access, correction, erasure, and retention analysis often need to be handled together rather than in isolation. Building an effective workflow involves 5 steps. Identify the right being exercised, verify the requester's identity, locate relevant data, decide on the appropriate action, and finally, record the response and close the request. You can take up a scenario such as access request, correction request, grievance complaint, or nominee request. You should design the workflow from intake to closure, including verification, routing, system action, exception handling, and final response. For further learning, a detailed guide with practical examples is available on the DPDPA Mentor website. This resource helps teams convert legal rights into operational workflows under the DPDP Act. This guide is based on the steps provided in the previous slide, and various examples are provided for better understanding and practical usage. Remember, rights empower individuals, but they require robust organizational processes to be realized. By verifying identities, maintaining secure systems, and acting responsibly, companies can build trust and ensure compliance. The main message of this video is that data principal rights are not abstract legal promises. They must be built into workflows, systems, team responsibilities, and user-facing channels if an organization wants to comply effectively and credibly. If you are interested in trying out the DPDP Act provisions, you can use the Consent Manager simulation portal at myconsentmanager.co.in to test your integrations as a data fiduciary or data principal. We recommend the Kelpie Quiz app, available on the Google Play Store, to test your knowledge of cybersecurity, the DPDP Act, and other important topics. The app offers various levels of difficulty and interactive assessments to improve your awareness. Thank you for watching this video relating to Deep Dive into DPDP Act 2023. Hope you now know more about rights of data principals under the Act. This was the 37th video in this series, released by DPDPA Mentor.in. Please visit our YouTube channel, DPDPA Mentor, as well as our website, dpdpamentor.in, regularly to check out other informative resources. Wishing you a successful DPDP Act implementation.